Welcome to the Fearful Fright series, where we will be reading with our favorite green ghoul, Grimmer. Now sit back and enjoy this twisted tale. Today our story is called Carnival Prize. One hot August, in a quiet little country town, lived a kid named Andy. Andy was a redhead girl from the country, who loved to go outside and play, or do anything, even though there wasn't much to do in this little country town. One day as she was playing in her front yard, she seen a man passing by on a tractor, with a small trailer connected that was full of little pamphlets. He was throwing them everywhere. As I went to pick one up, I noticed the top of the pamphlet, and it said, "Come one, come all, to the traveling carnival. Food, fun and prizes. We're only in town for one day." That looks fun, Andy thought to herself. I should go ask Ma and Pa if they'll give me some money to go. So she ran inside and started begging her parents to give her some money to go to the carnival. Eventually Andy's father gave in. "Okay, Andy," he said, "but you'll be cleaning stalls for a week." "Thank you," Andy said with excitement. She gave her mother and father a hug, and started to rush out the door. But her mother stopped her, saying, "You be careful, Andy." "I will, Mom. I'm almost 14," Andy replied. Then Andy continued on her way to the carnival. The paper says it's all the way on the other side of town. I better grab my bike, she thought. So she got on her bike and started heading across town. As she arrived, she noticed the carnival was set up in the old field the townsfolk used as a kind of farmer's market. "Wow, they set all that up in one day," she said to herself. "That's amazing. They must have had a ton of help." Andy began making her way to the entrance. There was a man standing in a ticket booth, with his back facing Andy. "One ticket please," Andy said with excitement that she could barely contain. As the man turned around, Andy could see a pale and skinny, shrunken-faced man, with two huge dark circles around his eyes. The man almost resembled that of a corpse. $2 please," the strange-looking man said. So Andy handed the man $2, receiving a wristband in exchange. As she made her way into the carnival, she could notice something. There was no one else around except the workers. "That's a bit strange," she thought to herself. But with this being a small town in the country, she just figured everyone else was busy, doing other things like farm work or something. Just then she noticed a spooky-looking fun house. "I should go check that out," Andy said. "That looks like a lot of fun." So she made her way over to the spooky-looking fun house. "One please," Andy said to a lady who looked just as strange as the man in the ticket booth. The odd-looking lady brushed her unkempt hair aside and said, "Right this way, my dear." As Andy stepped into the funhouse, she could see monsters and mummies, skeletons and ghosts, and strange mirrors that distorted her appearance. "Wow, that was fun," she thought. "What should I do next?" "I know," Andy said. "That ride looks pretty fun." And so Andy ran over to a ride that had skulls for tramcarts. "One please," Andy said to yet another odd-looking man with sunken-in eyes that had dark circles around them. "Right this way," he said. Andy got into the skull-shaped tramcart. The man locked her in, and began the ride. This is fun." As she left the ride, she noticed it was starting to get dark. "I probably have time for one more thing before I have to head home. What should I do? Oh, that looks fun," Andy said to herself. It was a ring toss game. A man standing in front of the ring toss game was yelling, "Come one, come all. If you make one ring in the bottle, I'll give you a prize no matter the size. I'll beat that game and win a prize for sure. I just know it," Andy said. "How much to play?" asked Andy. $2, said yet another odd-looking man, who had the same features as the other carnies before, except this man was wearing a monocle. "So will you be playing?" the man said. "Oh yes." "I'm sorry," Andy replied, handing the man $2. "I didn't mean to stare. It's just that you don't see many monocles these days." I assure you it's a family heirloom, the man said, handing her 3 rings. Andy tossed the first ring. Dang, I missed, she yelled. Okay, come on, you got this, Andy, she said to herself. She threw the second ring. Yes, I did it, she yelled. What prize would you like, the man with the monocle said. Let me see, Andy replied. As she looked around at the prizes, she noticed a huge teddy bear. Oh, that looks perfect. How about that one, she told the man with excitement. Oh, I see. The bear it is then. The man took the bear out of the prize bin. Here you go, young lady. Enjoy, he said, smiling, and handed it to her. Andy rushed to the entrance, got on her bike, threw the huge bear over her shoulder, and began riding home. Wait till Ma and Pa see what I won. I can't wait to see their faces. As she arrived back at her house, she put her bike away and went inside. Hey Ma, hey Pa, look what I got. I won it at the carnival, Andy said cheerfully. That looks great, her mother replied. Yeah, it looks pretty big too, said her father. Well, you're just in time for dinner, said her mother. Now go wash your hands. So Andy ran upstairs and threw the bear on the bed, and came back down to wash her hands. As she was washing her hands, she heard a loud sound come from her room. Like something heavy fell. Andy and her parents looked at each other. What was that, her father said. I'm not sure, Andy replied. I only threw my bear on the bed. Nothing should have fell over. I'll go check it out, Andy's father told her. You guys eat. I'll be right back. As Andy grabbed her plate and joined her mother for dinner, she could hear her father walking up the steps. But as Andy and her mother began to eat dinner, they noticed 10 minutes have gone by, and her father was still checking out the sound. Are you okay, dear? Her mother said. She got no reply. So Andy's mom walked to the edge of the stairs. Are you all right, honey? What was it? Still she got no reply. I know you can hear me, Andy's mother said, annoyed as she walked up the stairs. Andy continued eating. Soon she finished her plate, but noticed both her parents still hadn't come back downstairs. So she finished her plate, put her dishes in the sink, and then she went to go see what was taking them both so long. When Andy got to the stairs, she yelled up to them, Hey, is everything all right? No reply. So Andy began walking up the stairs. When she got to the hall, she noticed her mother's leg was sticking out of the door, as if she was laying down. Are you okay, Mom? Asked Andy. Nothing. Andy opened the door, and to her shock, she noticed both of her parents were torn apart. Her father's head was missing. His right arm was completely gone. Both of her mother's arms looked like they had been partially eaten, and her left leg was completely ripped off. The bear that she had thrown on her bed earlier had now been sitting up, blood covering its mouth and paws, and seemed to be wearing a sinister grin on its face. Andy started screaming, running from her house. She ran to the neighbors for help. When she arrived at her neighbor's McCalling's house, Andy began banging on the door frantically. Mr. McCallins, open up. I need your help. Both of my parents are dead. Open up, she continued yelling. She got no answer. So Andy ran to the side window and started knocking on it. Just then she noticed a giant stuffed lion bending over, eating something, eating the McCallins. Just then, the stuffed animal stood up and looked at Andy through the window, grinning. Andy couldn't believe her eyes. The stuffed animal was alive. The stuffed lion in the McCallings then walked over to the window. With blood covering its fur, it slowly shut the blinds and winked at Andy.